Greetings everyone, Eternal Phoenix here with the first video of the new year. Apologies if I sound a bit rough, I'm currently getting over a sinus infection. I really appreciate everyone's patience during the 2-week absence for the holidays, and I am definitely happy to see that we're approaching 20,000 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough for that. But with that out of the way, let's get started. Today I present you with the trifecta of the anime you definitely watch for the plot. And that's not to say that the stories aren't good, but they are definitely plot driven if you know what I mean. Up first we have High School of the Dead. So High School of the Dead follows Takahashi Komura, an average high schooler in a not so average situation. While sulking at school over the fact that his childhood friend Rei Miyamoto, who had made a promise to marry him one day, got a boyfriend, there's suddenly a virus outbreak of zombies. After finding Rei with the goal of protecting her, the two fight their way through the school and eventually are joined by 3 other classmates and their school nurse. And they decide to form a team to escape the school and find their families. It's during this journey through the city that things start to pick up. This show definitely has a solid balance of fan service and action compared to the other 2 entries on this list. One moment you have zombies being torn apart with a katana, the next you have a rifle being shot off a girl's chest. And yes, this is where the infamous scene comes from. Unfortunately for many viewers of the show, High School of the Dead only has 1 season due to its creator Daisuke Sato getting sick and eventually passing away. So as of now, the anime is left unfinished. However, there is an OVA Beach episode, which concludes the season. Moving on, we have High School DxD. So High School DxD became a bit controversial in recent years due to its change in animation style, originally airing on January 6th of 2012, and it used the same animation style for 3 seasons until its 4th season, High School DxD Hero, which was released on April 10th of 2018, 3 years apart from season 3, and it was animated by a different studio. I personally didn't mind the update, but let me know what you think in the comments. So High School DxD follows Issei Hyodo, a teenager and social outcast of sorts at a school, spending most of his time hanging with his friends and checking out girls. One day he's asked out by Yuma Amano, a schoolgirl from his area. Unfortunately for Issei, this was all a cruel joke by Yuma, or more specifically the fallen angel Rinare, who kills him at the end of their first date, due to Issei possessing a sacred gear, which is essentially an artifact of immense power. Luckily for Issei, however, he is reborn as a devil by Ria's Grimmery, the president of the school's occult club, and now he's a member of her family, and technically a pawn of her family, both literally and figuratively, as each member of the occult club is represented by a chess piece, which defines their role and powers respectively. However, Issei is the equivalent of all 8 of her pawn pieces. Now pulled into a world of devils and angels and fallen angels, he's expected to go on missions and fight for his new family. It's during one of these missions that he awakens the power of his sacred gear, the boosted gear of the Red Dragon Emperor, which allows him to infinitely double his power every 10 seconds. Issei uses this power to protect his family as well as fight his inherited internal rival, the White Dragon Emperor, which is basically another guy with a sacred relic who has kind of the opposite power. Instead of doubling it, it can minus the power of his opponents. So for High School DxD, I really enjoyed this series actually for the story because I thought it was cool as a concept when it first came out. Issei essentially is a harem protagonist, but it has enough story time and action that I never felt like the romance aspect of it was forced on me. Though I consider him a harem protagonist, he keeps his affection pretty clear cut from the beginning. That said, a key element of his character is the absolute off-the-wall comments he makes and just his perverse nature, which even really affects his combat abilities, such as when he gains power boost or new forms just from wanting to get rewarded by his lust, which fits his sacred gear considering that Dragon's lust for power is practically equivalent to Issei's lust for women. All in all, it's a great series. And finally, we have Testament of Sister New Devil. So honestly, if you know anything about High School DxD, this takes everything about that series and turns it up to 11. I personally don't think I can say anything in defense of this anime, and honestly I'm not sure how it still classifies as an anime, but if you can get past the explicit nature of the show, the story is pretty decent. Basara Tojo is just giving the news that his father decided to get remarried, and so he will have 2 new sisters. And while the first interaction doesn't go too well, for better or worse, this is his new family. However, there's more to them than meets the eye. The 2 sisters, Mio and Maria, are demons. Mio being the daughter of the former demon king, and Maria as her succubus attendant. And if the succubus part didn't clue you in already, it's definitely causes some interesting situations. That said, they attempt to manipulate Basara and his father into giving up their home to be their new base in the human world. But unfortunately for them, Basara and his father come from a clan of heroes. And while his father's away, Basara shows his hidden power, forcing them to leave. But in spite of everything, after learning that Mio is hiding from the demon realm and those who wish to eliminate and take her power, Basara decides to take on the role of being her fake brother as well as being her guardian, while simultaneously dealing with his trauma from his childhood and why he's no longer a hero. And he has a really good heart, which makes the situations kind of worse because he doesn't really want to be part of the things that happen. It just kind of works out like that. Again, really explicit show. Can't exactly defend it, but the story itself is decent. Another thing I should mention again for the last one, or just anything on this list, viewer discretion is definitely advised when watching these. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Honestly, all three of these anime really push the boundary for what can be shown on YouTube, but these are some of the most talked about anime when it comes to the fan service genre. And if anyone asks you about it, you can tell them you watch it for the plot. Eternal Phoenix, signing out.